Let's talk about video marketing. It's almost impossible to go 5 minutes without seeing some form of video marketing, whether it be Instagram Reels, on YouTube, even in emails, on websites, all over the place. So how did we get here? There's actually a few reasons for that. And the first is something very human. And that's that video helps you connect with people on an emotional level rather than just an intellectual level. In short, it helps you connect with the heart, not just with the mind. And as we know, storytelling in business is far more important than ever has been before. And videos help you tell your brand story in a much more personal, authentic, and easy way. The second reason is much more practical, and that is that algorithms love video. But it's important to understand why they love video. At the end of the day, the goal of algorithms on social media is to keep people engaged for longer. So the reason they love video is because video keeps people engaged for much longer, which is also what we as brands want. The last reason is about recall. And this has to do with our senses. The more senses we engage when communicating with a person, the more likely we are to be recalled easily. And the fact that video is so multi-sensory creates a really close connection between your viewer and your content that keeps them coming back for more and helps them remember you when the time is right. So you know you need to do video, but maybe you don't know where to get started. Or maybe you've started and things haven't quite taken off, and you're wondering where results are going to come from. It's really important to have a strategy. If you're just going out and filming or animating or anything blind without really knowing who you're talking to, what the message you're trying to give them, and what is the best medium to relay that message, you're wasting your time and you're not going to get the value you need out of video. So follow this framework. First, start with defining your audience and their goals. Who are you really talking to? And what is going to drive them? Is it a challenge that they're facing? Is it an opportunity or desire that they have? And think about how you can tap into that feeling and produce content that relates to them in that way. Then pick your platforms. You don't necessarily need to be everywhere, and there's a lot of pressure to be on TikTok, to be on YouTube, on Instagram, on all these places, and video is everywhere. But think about where is your audience and focus on the 1 or 2 channels that you know they spend time on, and then optimize your videos for those channels. Now you need to make your content compelling. And I know this is a whole ocean on its own. And there's a little bit more about that in our blog that you can read that we'll link in the description below. But sometimes compelling isn't necessarily complicated or difficult. You see incredible content being produced with just a smartphone and phone editing apps, and it's easier than ever to produce good content. Think about the style, length, and format of your videos. If you're posting on Instagram, focus on short, catchy videos with a really good opening hook and a lot of dynamic visuals to keep people watching and even rewatching the video. If you're making videos for YouTube, think about explainer content that helps your audience really understand what they need to about a topic. And then you could even break that longer video up into shorter clips to use as YouTube Shorts or to post on other platforms. Think about visuals or B-roll that can bring some dynamism to your video and add some variety. That could be B-roll from the internet, it could be slow motion shots of different things that are happening, or even little animated things that add that little something extra to your video and help break the monotony. Lastly, always end with a compelling call to action. You see many types of videos and the calls to action can be different. Sometimes they can just be a looping video that makes you watch it again. It could be to link to a longer piece of content like a blog or a longer video. It could be to DM or contact you or drop a comment, but always leave people with something to do that creates closure in their mind and creates a satisfying ending for them. Just make sure your call to action is specific, clear, and adds value. So here are my best pro tips after doing video marketing for quite a while. Don't forget mobile. Remember that most of your videos are being consumed in portrait format on smartphones. So even if you have a longer video that's in landscape for YouTube, make sure to cut it up into portrait videos for shorts to make the best out of the algorithms. Subtitles are really important. A lot of people watch videos on silent, sometimes at the office, or maybe on public transport, or at home when they're around family at the dinner table. You'd be surprised. Subtitles help people consume your content without having to have the audio on, which makes videos with subtitles that much more engaging. Post consistently, not just when you feel like it. Every day is not going to feel like a good video day, but at the end of the day, consistency is going to get you much further than strategy when it comes to video and social media. If you want to add a little bit of variety as well as extra reach to your videos, try collaborations on Instagram. Think of another brand or person on Instagram whose content aligns with yours and that's complementary, and make a video together with them and then collaborate on that, and then both of you will benefit from the reach of each other's followers. And repurpose your content. If you make a long piece of content or even a short piece of content, think about multiple ways you can use that. Post behind the scenes content and little fun clips on stories. Take screenshots of the filming process and make that a post. Reuse the audio with B-roll or other footage. There's so many ways that you can use this when you start to get creative and think about it. The ideas may not come to you right away, but as you get started, you'll learn more and more creative ways to bring your story out. All right, this one's an easy one. Who needs video marketing? If you're a brand that's looking to get your message out there and really connect with your audience in a new way, if you're trying to get more reach or more sales or customers, you probably need video marketing. What if I'm not comfortable in front of the camera? You're not gonna like to hear this. You gotta get over it. Talking head videos are one of the greatest ways to build a connection with your viewer, build authenticity and credibility. And it's not easy when you start, but it gets much easier as you go along. And soon one day you're going to find yourself having a conversation with a camera as easy as it was to talk to a person that was sitting in front of you. But here's a few tips to make it easy. If you don't feel comfortable talking straight into a camera yet, have someone interview from just off camera. Just towards the side where you're still connected with your audience, but you're talking face to face with a person and it feels much less like you in front of the camera with all the lights where the nerves kick in. All right, what if I don't have fancy camera equipment? I have good news for you this time. It's never been easier than it is now to start with just a few pieces of equipment and not have a tremendous amount of pro camera gear. A couple of iPhones and lights, and you can get started. Most of the content that's out on the internet is not shot professionally anymore. And though you still can distinguish between the two, it doesn't mean as much to your viewer as does how compelling your content is and how well it's created for them, the viewer, and what they care about. Of course, make sure your videos are professional and well done, but don't worry about making them overcomplicated or fancy. So whether you're shooting with just an iPhone or in a professional studio environment, focus on the fundamentals, and I guarantee you, your videos will start racking up those views. So that's all for this video, but that's not all we've got for you. We've got a blog that I'll link down below that has tons more information and much more in-depth guide about how to really get started with video marketing that we just didn't have time for in this video. So if you find yourself in the place of wanting to get started or wanting to turn your video marketing into something that's creating results and growth for you, check out the blog and we'll see you over there.